I wanted to introduce myself.
Okay, nice to meet you.
I'm not sure if the previous owner had told you, we're actually going to be the ones that just purchased the house.
Okay.
I know you have it rented, so I wanted to see if you were interested in stay rented there.
Yeah, I do.
I know the house needs some repairs. We plan on fixing up the house. I just wanted to get in touch with you and set times to start repairing the house and talk a little bit about the rent today.
Okay.
You're currently rented for $1,100 in that house, and it's in Miami. It's a pretty low price in today's market. I wanted to see if you wanted to stay there.
Yeah, I was planning on staying. I don't want to move, and I have been here for over 10 years.
I would want you to stay, but we would have to raise it a little bit.
Okay, and?
There's houses in that area going for $2,500. You could take the lower end of $2,200.
Are you kidding me? That has to be a joke. $2,500. That's over double my current rent. I can't afford that. I have kids, and I'm already working 2 jobs as it is. Where do you want me to go?
This guy posted on TikTok him apparently owning a house, had just purchased, and he wanted to raise the rent on the tenants. As you heard, the situation there from $1,100 to about $2,200 at the top end of it. I mean, it's unconfirmed the level of whether or not this is actually happening in his tenant there, but it's a pretty typical story as you see rent prices change from ownership to just maybe the same guy wants to raise the rent because, hey, market prices say I have to gouge you further. So more about this as we watch his portrayal of what went down. So take that with a grain of salt, but let's watch this as it goes.
Burn the house down at this point so nobody gets anything. I should call the cops on you.
If you don't want to stay there for that price, I'm gonna have to put a 30-day notice. You could leave peacefully on time, but I definitely can't make it work at that rent amount.
Look, I'm calling my brothers and I dare you to try to pull up and give us the eviction notice. This is ridiculous. I'm not paying over double my rent.
We're gonna have to put the 30-day notice and go from there. I wanted to try to solve this, but if you can't go up, I understand.
You think I give a about your investment? I'm not paying that. Pull up to the house, I dare you. We'll be here waiting and it won't be a good time for you. This is ridiculous and you're a con artist.
You almost wonder if it's a prank, actually, because then he says he shows up at the house, which we don't see the house in this video. And maybe the police showed up later. We should look for some reports. But this is what he said didn't happen next.
I'm at the property right now. You sent over text that you'd be home.
You really thought I'd meet you in person after you tried to double my rent? I'm not paying more than $1,100.
Look, I told you I'd work with you. You know, I know you're at $1,100. Most of the properties in the area are at $2,500. I told you I'd work with you to be able to, try and figure this out. I'm trying to make this possible here.
Possible? You're literally trying to double my rent.
I own the property now, and I hear you, but it's worth a lot more. Just my taxes and insurance alone are $1,100 a month. I'm trying to get you the best price here.
Sir, I literally don't care what you think. You can try to evict me if you want. I'm not leaving. Good luck. Oh, and I changed the locks too, by the way, so don't even try to put an eviction notice on my door or else.
I really wanted to work something out, but if not, I'm just gonna come back with the sheriff.
I don't doubt that. I'm done talking to you and blocking your number.
Attention for this. He was getting maybe the wrong kind. A few comments there you guys saw from his TikTok about how awesome this was. Again, to the degree to which the reality of it we'll have to see. But people are saying this guy thinks that we're on his side, laughing, of course, about it. Someone else said he says he's working with her, but increasing her 100% money hungry. So many folks were commenting against his tactics there. But again, this is kind of normal with folks. Next thing you know, your rent's up and they say there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to get that much more money. But let's look at this last graph, you guys, graphic 3 down here, because when it comes to how much folks are making versus how much, I guess these homeowners and landlords are making, it just doesn't really add up. Because historically, an average house in the US costs around 5 times the yearly household income. And during the housing bubble of 2006, the ratio exceeded 7. So in other words, an average single family house in the United States costs more than 7 times the US median and annual household income. That's the median. We're not talking about many folks that are beneath that. And also the number of people who themselves in shelters or homeless, maybe couch surfing, things like that, they have jobs, sometimes multiple jobs, but that's just not enough. But who cares? It's America. It's the land of the free and home of the homeless. Yes.
That's a good one, Jayar. That's a bar. In Miami, it turns out you need a 60-day notice if you're a landlord trying to raise rent for someone living in your unit. This seemed like a 1-day notice before he pulled up. So this is harassment, and that's illegal. So if he went to the sheriff's office and told the sheriff precisely what he was up to in the timeline, he would be the one who's in trouble. You can't just kick someone out of their home. It's ridiculous. And then to post it on TikTok, I can't believe he posted this himself. It's insane because I guarantee you, so many people in Miami who are looking for houses, the algorithm is going to show them this video and they're going to see this landlord. And if they go to sign a lease with him, I guarantee you they will not, given the behavior he's demonstrated on TikTok. So he's really playing himself on more fronts than one.
More fronts than one play, but I mean, I guess there's a boldness when it comes to like we're the guys with the money and the property. Why would they go against us? We can call them hoarders and there's people just living off of my land. And I guess it generally works. Is that why you took off from the city here?
The landlords, yes, I fled the lords of the land.
I'm not sure people knew that. I just want to point it out.
Yeah. No, that was a nightmare. I'm gonna be like in a small claims lawsuit with the landlord in Los Angeles. It's literally awful. The way that they think they can just break the law, and because people don't have the resources to fight them, that they'll get away with it. And people will live in conditions that are less than what someone by the law can live under, right? But if you don't know your rights and you can't afford a lawyer, you pretty much take what you can get. And for many people in the United States right now, it's way more than they can afford. And then they're getting a unit that is below grade. It doesn't make any sense. Median rent surpassed $2,000 in May for the first time. Rent inflation has outpaced overall inflation. Overall inflation year over year has been about 7.1%. Rent inflation's been about 14%. They're raising the rents for more than necessary just to account for rental costs. And it's not helping either that the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates, which makes mortgages more expensive. Less people will buy homes. They'll be driven into the rental market. That's going to increase demand as well. And the consequence is that people are losing their homes. Not every city tracks the homeless population, but cities that do are reporting a 30% increase in the homeless population. And shelters, which is a good proxy measure, are reporting their wait lists are doubling and tripling in size. It's the consequence of people like this dude.
It's direct. And good news though, Jess, Republicans won the House because they ran on inflation, housing inflation. They want to change that. Yeah, right.
Guarantee those guys fight for this landlord.